Well, I will start with just welcoming everyone and saying thank you for being here. Um, this is our Tour Reflections Ballet Banter. And also want to just remind everyone that this year um, the dress rehearsal um, invitations have been sent out. If you have not RSVP'd to a dress rehearsal, please let us know at membership@abt.org. Additionally, we are trying something new this year with our member hours, and I will put those dates in the chat. You'll be able to come to the Met Opera House a little bit early and enjoy each other's company. Hopefully the terrace will be open and there will be, sunny days so you can feel very glamorous out on that big terrace. Um, as I said, I'll put those dates in the chat. We selected them because there was, we wanted to give everyone a shot and see if one day per week would work. And we hope that it does, and we hope that you're able to join us. Okay, I'm going to turn it over to Clinton Luckett. Thank you, Clinton, and all of our wonderful dancers for sharing your tour reflections with us.
Thanks so much, Pia, and hello, everyone. It's great to see you. I'm thrilled to have with us today three dancers from the company, soloist Sung-Woo Han, and core members Yoon Jung-so and Tristan Brosnan. And we're here just to talk about our recent tour, which was starting out in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and then from there the company flew directly to Seoul, Korea. This was our second international tour since the pandemic, and with several dancers from Korea in the company, it was a very exciting moment to be able to go there and have them all performing at home. So just wanted to talk about the tour. So welcome, Tristan, Yoon, Sung-Woo. Great to see you. Thank you for being here today on your day off. So Sung-Woo, I will start with you. I think this was your first time performing in Korea with ABT, yes?
Yes. Since I joined, it was first time.
And well, how did it feel going back to Korea with your company?
I was really happy and really grateful I can perform with my friends and whole company to especially show my dance to my family in Korea. Yeah, I was really happy, and ABT hasn't toured to Seoul for a long time, so people were really excited for tour. And I did one of the principal role there, which is in the theme and variation. I was really happy.
Right, you danced in the opening night, which was actually a special sort of gala performance, and
Mm.
you performed. So, are you originally from Seoul?
I'm originally from Seoul
Uh, and
a-
growing up in Seoul?
and grew up, which is actually really close from the theater. I born in the same city, same area.
Uh,
Yeah.
it was a brand new theater. We were actually, I believe, the first people to perform in this new theater. Is that correct?
Yes.
And were the Koreans excited about this new theater, did you think? Did you hear any feedback about it?
Yes. I heard a lot of feedback about it. People were really enjoyed the ABT performance because they have like not much of chance to see us. They were like really excited. They were actually talking about the repertoires. They were like, "Oh, it was so good." They loved we bring mixed program.
Yes, normally when we go on tours, we often take one of our full-length story ballets because certainly that's what people tend to think of when they think of American ballet theater. They think of Swan Lake and Giselle or Sleeping Beauty. So it's not often that we're able to tour with mixed repertory and especially on an international tour. So
Mm,
this was a very unique case.
mm.
Yoon, you're also from Korea. Did you grow up in Seoul as well?
Yeah, I'm from suburb of Seoul, but I did grow up in Seoul. Yeah,
And you've only been in the company now for how long? Just a couple of years, right? Few,
3 years. Yeah,
3 years. So, and when did you leave Korea? How old were you when you left Korea?
I was 17 years old when I
Uh,
joined studio company.
so you came directly from Seoul to the studio company, yeah? So directly to New York.
Yeah,
Had you been to New York before you moved here?
I did YGP once,
Once.
15,
Uh-huh.
but yeah, just only that.
So you've been in New York for several years now, and this was also your first time being able to dance with the American Ballet Theater at home. How did you find the experience of dancing there? And already very early in your career, you didn't have to wait too long.
Mm. Yeah, it was so nice that I could perform in Korea and showing like ABT dancer to my friends and family because they're like very excited to see the new rep like for them. It's like we performed Twilight India Room and then theme and variation they never watched before. So I was really excited to perform.
So these, yes, the ballets we took, we had theme and variations, as Uni said, Twyla Tharp's in the upper room, as well as the new Kyle Abraham and Gemma Bond pieces from last fall. But theme and in the upper room, those are classic ABT ballets that people around the world don't necessarily get to see very much. So even there's not really films of those that circulate widely. So it was, I'm sure, very interesting for people to see them. Tristan, was this your first trip to Korea?
Yes, it was my first time.
I believe we were in China a couple of years ago. You came to China with us. So was this your second trip to Asia, or have you been in any other countries in Asia?
Well, actually, Yoon and I went to the Philippines together when we were
Oh,
with Studio Company.
very good.
Yeah.
So what were your impressions of Seoul? Now that
So,
you have so many Korean friends now, and
yeah, well, I mean, even in Studio Company, Yoon and Sunmi were, oh, we have to take you guys to Seoul. You have to come. And we finally got to go. It was really cool. It was super duper cool. I had a show off. I think it was a Friday show, Friday night. And so I downloaded one of the bike apps and got on one of the little electric bikes and just went exploring. And it was honestly the highlight of the of going to the city because those streets are all meandering and hilly, and there's coffee shops everywhere. So I had a great time. I had a blast. Some people were a little bit more nervous, going international, but it was the same with China. It's so cool to go someplace in Asia. Super super cool.
so as a dancer, obviously, when you rely on your body to do your job, and you have to take the plane flight for 15 hours, it was about 15 hours there. And then, of course, you get there, you do have a day off after you land to recover. And then one more day of rehearsals before you have to perform. But it's really only about 48 hours from landing to being on stage. So I guess Sungwoo and Uni, you're obviously more used to doing this trip. You go back to Korea every year. How do you cope with traveling and performing? Sungwoo, you can start.
Me personally, 14 hours and is the jet lag after I landed, jet lag is pretty bad. Normally it helps. I recently find out, not recently, for few years recently, Before flight, like 16 hours, I don't eat huge meal to resetting my body clock. Body clock. So
Mhm.
before taking flight for 16 hours, I don't really eat huge meal. I just make my stomach a little um empty, and
Mhm.
then I eat when I land in Korea. It helps for jet lag. So resetting my body clock
Okay.
by the meal. So I'm eating the time in Korea.
Mhm. Interesting.
Mm. It helps. Try next time when you fly to somewhere has a huge time difference. It helps.
Okay.
Uh,
You do you have any do you have any tricks that you use to cope with the time change?
I do the same thing as some, like
oh.
I don't eat huge meal right before flight, and then I don't eat on the flight. I just have a snack, and then
Mhm.
I sleep whole flight. And after landing, and I also sleep.
Mm.
So it make it very quick.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Well, obviously you have a lot of experience, so you know how to do it.
just for one day. Yeah.
That's amazing. Tristan, how was the experience for you with the jet lag?
Yeah, I wish I had known about that not eating trick. I did not have a easy adjustment. I mean, but for me, I always try to sweat it out the next day. So I felt super jet lagged the next morning, but I got into the gym and got to do some stuff, and then we had the optional company classes, and Susan was teaching, so that was like I was gonna sweat, so I did, and that really helped. And yeah, and then we got out into the city, and Yoon actually took us around, and we were out walking for a long time. And just getting everything flushed out, I think, was huge because after that, you just fall asleep. You actually, I was so tired, so that helped me.
Right. I think when you have a schedule and you have things that you're doing, it helps your body understand. But still, to then have to perform, that means you're asking your body to really do extraordinary things in a very short amount of time. Do the performances feel different to you than when you're just at home? Or did you, on stage, you feel like your adrenaline takes over and it feels just the same as performing here in New York?
Yeah, I feel like as soon as I get out on the stage, it's stage time and it's its own thing, and I don't really feel you're just locked in. You got all the adrenaline and you're in your own world kind of every time you're out there, so that doesn't feel any different to me.
Mhm.
But the work like that goes in beforehand and the teching and the spacing and being on stage all day is harder. Like that's definitely much harder. And I feel it, and my ankles get swollen, my legs get a little puffy. But then as soon as we sign in 7 o'clock, 7:30, start doing the makeup, it's like it's showtime. There's no difference.
And Uni, Sungwoo, do you feel the same on stage? You feel the same no matter what?
I think so, yes. Like when the adrenaline kicks in, like I feel like, oh, I feel good, ready to go. Like right before I signed up, as Tristan says, like 7 p.m. we should sign in for the theater. Like right before, I was like, oh, do I need any coffee, more coffee, or do I need something? But since once I signed in, I'm like, wait, what? I don't sleep. I don't feel any like sleepy. Like it's weird. Always.
Your body knows what it has to do.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, I felt the same way with everyone. Like just when we rehearsed, I felt very heavy of it. When you're on stage doing show, it's same.
Actually, I have something to add to that because
Sure.
when we did the spacing for in the upper room, I didn't do it, but I came up on stage afterwards, and multiple people like came up to me. Just that was the worst run I've ever done, ever. And I was watching. I was like, it looks okay. Like it really doesn't look that bad, but people were just distraught, you know, because it feels you really do feel heavy. Stamina's not the same because it's a spacing, you know. And then lo and behold, the show, everybody feels amazing, feels fantastic. So
Right. The adrenaline does its job, no matter what. Well, you know, we have so many, we have several Korean dancers in the company besides yourselves, Sungwoo and Yoon. We have Sunmi Park, Juan An, and of course, Hee-seon, who's celebrating her 20th anniversary this year. And in our studio company, for any of you who got to see the studio company, you know, we have a couple of wonderful Korean dancers also in the studio company coming up. And even in different competitions, I hear that Korean dancers are winning in the Youth America Grand Prix. It seems the ballet, Korean dancers are very strong in ballet now. Sungwoo, what's happening in Korea? Is it something in the water? Why is suddenly so many good ballet dancers coming from Korea?
Hard question. I don't know maybe the education, the
Well,
it connects with the culture.
I mean,
The
I assume ballet is fairly popular in Korea. People enjoy ballet there.
Yes, yes, yes. And recently it getting more popular and popular because somehow recently uh Korean TV channels they making drama or TV shows about ballet. So since the little kids watching those TV shows and uh from TV, more kids trying.
Mhm,
So the population of people who starting ballet is getting bigger and bigger. Maybe that's why could be the reason.
mhm,
And also the culturally when
mhm,
we learning, we um Asian culture we always says yes.
mhm.
I think that helps to to learning quick. I don't know. I don't know.
Uni, what inspired you to want to be to study ballet when you were a little girl?
I I didn't really know about ballet that time.
Mhm,
Just I just went ballet studio
mhm.
and I did very
Something to do, like something for a young girl to do to study ballet.
like as usual kids. Yeah, and I did it very seriously. I did hard work
Mhm.
every time. Yeah, it's
So
like
you went to a good school or a serious school from the beginning?
well, I just went like normal ballet studio first time,
Mhm,
and then teacher made me do ballet
mhm,
and made me do competition. And then I went to ballet school called Yeowon Middle School. Yeah, I did Vaganova train in that school, so I kept dancing,
right.
yeah, with Vaganova method train. Yeah,
The Vaganova method, which comes from
Russian.
Russia. She was the great teacher really during the Soviet era who developed a method of training that's now used by many schools around the world, actually. Um, yes, Sangwoo, well, you're right. It has to do also with the training there. Are there large ballet companies in Korea?
We in Korea we have like two ballet companies in Korea, one which is Korean National Ballet and
Mhm,
the other called Universal Ballet Company. But, but I'll say Universal Ballet is not big anymore. So we have like one ballet
One,
company, Korean National Ballet.
and do they have a school? Like, is there one school that everyone sort of aspires to go to, or there's many different schools, or?
We have many different schools, but uh, like all good Korean dancers from this school called Korean National University of Arts.
Mhm.
They, yes, basically one big school in Korea.
And you went to that school,
I
yes.
went to that school. I start ballet from there.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
And did all the other Korean dancers go there as well? Like Juwon, Sung?
Juwon, me, Sunmi, yes, and I don't think Hiseo went. Oh, so me, Juwon, Sunmi went to same school. Yes.
Uni, you didn't go to that school. You
I
stayed
was 17 and then came here right away. Yeah.
right. Tristan, what do you find among the Korean dancers, some particular qualities that you think make them stand out, or?
That's tough. I mean, technically, especially everyone in ABT, all the Korean dancers in ABT are very strong, very, very, very strong foundations, um, and that's always admirable. Like that's always something that
Mhm.
is inspiring to see. But I think everybody still has a lot of individuality. Um, like I wouldn't be able to tell from a dancing standpoint that Sunmi and Yoon trained in Seoul. But you know, it's very easy to see how well trained they are and how clean they are and how strong they are. Um, and I think to like you and Juwon Sungwoo and how clean and crisp, especially jumps and allegro, is all very very tight. There's not a lot of unnecessary movements. It's all very very precise stuff, and that's something that I admire. That's something that I look to. I ask Sungwoo all the time about for tips because it's very clean. It's very nice. And I find that you know, whether that be a Western thing or whatever, there's more freedom in the technique. There's more room for extra movements, and sometimes those are beautiful, and sometimes they're not helpful. And so when it's not helpful, it's good to be able to look to people and see, wow, you know, that's really, really crisp and simple and beautiful. So I have a lot of admiration for all the Korean dancers in the company.
And Sungwoo, American Ballet Theater has toured to Korea before. I did go on some tours myself, even when I was a dancer. We were there in 1996, and then again 2008, I believe, 2011 or 12. Is American Ballet Theater well known in Korea? Do people like, for instance, you obviously wanted to join American Ballet Theater. How did you know about American Ballet Theater?
Oh, I mean, of course, American Ballet Theater is very, very well known. Even when I was young, I grew up watching ABT dancers videos,
Mhm.
and how I know about ABT because of the famous dancers used ABT, the principals. I used my first ballet video was Susan Jeffy and Jose Carnero's Swan Lake video I ever seen for ballet video. And then I was like, wow, that's so cool. I want to start. Like, I didn't even know what is ballet is. I watched the video and I was like, ah, wow. And I didn't know at that time there was ABT. I just saw a video of two dancers dancing. And then after I trained and I find out there was Susan Jeffy and Jose Carreno. So when ABT came Seoul with Giselle, I think 2011, I really wanted to join ABT. So I followed ABT tour bus after theater performance, and they went to the Marriott hotel. I followed, I drive, and then I went to hotel lobby, and then I was looking for Kevin that time, director. But Julie Kent came to me and like, oh, hi, because I was with my teacher, and they knew each other, so they're like, hi, and we chat, and I was like, I wanna join ABT because one of the best ballet company in the world. And Julie Ken was like, oh, wait, I'll connect you to, I think it was Tina or someone, I don't remember. And I got the email from Kevin's email, so I wrote the email to him. That much ABT was big.
So that's amazing. From just a video, seeing a video, that's what made you want to.
Yes, even just for the video, I was like, wow, this is the company I want to join.
Mhm. Amazing. Uni, you mentioned going to the competition, the Youth America Grand Prix, and I know that the Youth America Grand Prix competition is a very big and a very influential way for students to come to New York. When did you first hear about YAGP? I assume maybe your teacher told you about it. She wanted to prepare you for that. Did you go to the competition thinking that you would move to New York or join American Ballet Theater? Was that in the back of your mind, or you just were doing the competition?
Yeah, my teacher recommended me to do competition, but I just wanted to have a experience like on stage, being on stage, and I didn't really did great that time, so I couldn't get any scholarships. And I tried harder and work harder, and I tried pre-Lawson, and I watched the ABT Swan Lake video on YouTube. Yeah, I thought it was really cool. So I always wanted to go to ABT. It was my dream company. And I did pre and then I got prize. So I chose studio company right away.
At the Prix de Lausanne, correct. At the Prix de Lausanne, you chose studio company.
Yes.
So the Prix de Lausanne is a international competition that takes place every year in Switzerland. It's been around for a very long time now. I think they just celebrated their 50th anniversary last year or a few years ago. And the students who, I think there's not really one winner, there's a group of students who win the possibility to select a school or a company, a training company, as part of the prize. So you chose the ABT Studio Company. Yes, I think that's one of the choices you can make. So you did it actually through Prix de Lausanne, not through YAG. Wonderful. Tristan, did you ever compete in the YAGP?
Yes, yeah, I did YGP as a young guy, very young. I was still in San Francisco at the time. That's where I grew up, and I would do the regionals there, and I did the New York finals 3 times, and the final time I did it, I did a pas de the Flames Paris pas de, and that was how Deborah Hess saw me and invited me to join Canada's National Ballet School, and so that's the school I ended up training with. So YGP was super important for me too in getting to a professional school. So I did, and
How old were you the first time you did it?
I don't know, I think I was 9. I was a young guy, and I actually didn't do ballet. I did a Moldavian dance that my Moiseev. I started with character dance. I didn't do ballet at first, and so he taught me. He made and kind of taught a Moiseev dance to me, and I brought that to YGP. And I remember so distinctly, like all the judges give you rubrics and notes from the competition. It's one of the best parts of the competition. You get feedback from established teachers and dancers and yada yada. And nobody really knew what to say because it was a character dance. It wasn't a classical ballet. So I was a young guy then, but I had a blast.
How did you come to study character dancing? Well, that's very unusual in America to find a school where you study character dancing like that.
Yeah, pure luck and timing and coincidence. I went to see my sister went and did ballet. My older sister did ballet, and so I grew up at the studio. And we went to go see Nutcracker, and I was 5. And there was a Russian dance in it, and just the Russian dance was coached by an ex legendary Moiseev guy, Vasily Montien, and he actually danced with Irina Kopakova, and they're very good friends.
Mhm.
And I've actually asked her about him, and she's asked about him, and so I get to keep her updated about him, which is a very cool connection because that's a big circle to go from a young guy. Uh, but I just told my parents I wanted to do that. Like we watched the show, and I said that is amazing. You know, like a little kid, they're jumping and landing on their knees and spinning, and I thought it was amazing. So that's what I wanted to do, and I did it for almost 10 years, very seriously, very long time. And then eventually ballet. I was at the school doing that, and then the director of the school said, "You can't really continue to do this without doing ballet here. You need to start like training your body in a more well-rounded way." So I started doing ballet, and then I started doing YGP, and that's how I went to a ballet school. But I started with the Moldavian, Ukrainian, Hungarian, Gopak, Trepak, Tartar. That's all. That's all I did for hours and
Wow.
hours. Yeah.
And where was that? In San Francisco? Or
Yes, that was actually in Daly City. That was in a. He had a studio in the basement of a cathedral, St. Anne's Cathedral, and so we would go there, and there was a wooden dance floor, and it was very cool because then I could go to school and show off my tricks and all the knee kicks and aerials, and I seriously doing like a pirouettes and double tour, and you land on your knees, like landing on your knees.
yes, I've seen it, and I don't know how they do it. I mean, it's the Moiseev company is, for those of you who may not know, a very famous Russian troupe of character and like folkloric dancers, and the male dancers do just unbelievably bravura stuff that, as a trained ballet dancer, you can't imagine doing what they do. Like Tristan was saying, they do like a double tour landing on their knee, like both knees at the same time. It's really extraordinary that you came across a teacher from that company.
Yeah, I mean, I did it, and I don't know how I did it. I
Uh,
look back at videos and I think I'm speechless. Like, what the hell? How did this? And he was a very intense man. Like he was old and Russian, and he was very intense and left us in tears all the time. But he was very good, and he was very passionate, and all of his intensity didn't come from a bad place. And so even as a kid, even when it's kind of scary, you still respond to that. And so I keep in touch with him to this day because I credit him for my love of dance. So
wow, that's
yeah,
wonderful.
yeah, it was very cool. Yeah.
But you did go through the YGP sort of system as a way to get more training in a bigger school, and that's one of the things that the Youth America Grand Prix has really enabled. It's for young students who can be everywhere, anywhere, in some small place. By attending the competitions, you get to be seen by directors of all the major ballet schools, and it enables talented kids to come to the very best schools to receive training. Sungwoo, I just wanted to ask you also, I know you've have some experience as a producer and
Mm-hmm.
brought your own group to Korea prior to our tour. I think it was last fall after the Coke season. You took a group of dancers to Korea from ABT, I think. Is that correct?
Yes, I organized my own gala performance in Korea, and then normally gala performance, all the different dancers from different company dancing in the gala, but this time I really wanna organize the gala with only ABT dancers. So I didn't bring any other company dancers. I only brought ABT, which is my friends. And I think makes the gala performance more special to the audience also because we known for many years we were so close, we were like a family. So the synergy of the group was really good. So audience could feel the energy, like we were like encouraging each other. There's no competitions between dancers. We were like trying to make good performance all together. So it was so nice.
Did you have any experience organizing a performance like that before?
No, it was my first time. First time. It was way harder than I thought.
What inspired you to want to do that? I mean, uh,
Uh, I don't know, like maybe a few years ago, I just thought about, oh, I want to really perform in Korea with my friends. It just like one night, I was like, it just in my head, I was like, oh, I need to do that. I really wanted to do it. So for 2 years, yeah, I like step by step, little by little. It took 2 years.
right. So how did you go about it? How did you even begin? What did you do first?
Oh, first, I found the investor.
Mister? Yeah.
Yes, yes, who can brought us because I don't have that much of money. So so I found this guy who loves ballet and also he who used to be a dancer. Now he's in a business, but he used to dance in Korean National Ballet. So I found him and I asked him, I want to organize this because in ABT we have like such amazing dancers, but I really want to brought them to Korea to show Korean audience. So there he was like, oh, okay, let's trade together.
Mhm. And what surprised you maybe the most about organizing it, or what was something you didn't ever expect uh, about it?
Uh, I was really surprised because when I was young, ABT was very well known. Honestly, like everyone knew. But when I organized this gala in Korea, I was marketing
Mhm.
and people were like, "Oh, ABT," but they were like, they weren't at the beginning. They weren't that much of like attention. I didn't feel. So I was like wondering why. And then I was like keep marketed as an individual dancers. That helps. So I was like surprised how people.
Mhm.
So yeah.
I always think it's interesting when a dancer such as yourself, decides to do that sort of thing because uh, dancers dancing, of course, just being a dancer and doing what you have to do on stage takes all of your time and energy. Really, it's such a complete immersion of yourself in your work. But of course, to actually make a performance happen and then to make a tour happen there are many, many, many factors. I think most dancers don't really necessarily realize how much has to go on
Mm,
just in order to make a performance even possible.
mm,
And I'm sure you had that experience.
mm. Yes. And also I was a dancer whole time, whole my life. It was my first time produced as a producer. And during the preparation time, a few dancers got injured, so I had to replace. I had to find another dancers. That was really stressed out. So now I understand how stressful of artistic people
Yes,
when dancers got injured.
yes, exactly. The show must go on, so you have to find someone who can do it. Uni, I think you went on the tour with Sungwoo, or that you performed in the gala. It was one performance, correct? It was just one or two?
It
3.
was two, three,
Three. Oh, lovely.
Oh, it was 2.
two.
Two. Uni, you performed in this gala as well. Was that the first time you were dancing in Korea with, or have
Um,
you done performances with your school?
I did some gala in Korea, but yeah, with ABT it was first time. Yeah, with my friends.
So I'm sure that was nice to be with your friends. Sungwoo, what theater was it? Was it a different theater or
It was a different theater. The theater called Universal Arts Center, which is Universal Ballet Company performing there all the time. It's more like a ballet theater. Yeah, they only performing ballet there.
all right.
A little smaller theater than ABT tour. When we perform, GSR Center is bigger.
Uh,
Mm.
I mean, the stage is bigger or the number of seats is
Number of seats.
number of seats is bigger.
GSR Center was bigger. When I did my gala, it was only 900 seats per
Mhm.
night.
Do you think that your gala helped our performances? Maybe people now they got a little like a taste of ABT before.
Honestly, yes, 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 yes.
Do you think you will organize? Do you have any more ideas to organize more tours?
Yes, yes. I'm trying to bring ABT friends in Seoul again, and then next year, I'm also trying to do in Japan as well. So last year was 1 week of Seoul, but I'm planning next time will be 1 week of Seoul, and then we fly all together to Japan, and 1 more week in Japan. That's what I'm planning.
Wonderful. Wow,
Yes.
that's fantastic. Well, it's great because as a dancer in America, you only work for a certain amount of weeks every year. No American dancer works all year long. Your contract is for 36 weeks, so you have extra weeks that you can
Mhm,
organize these type of things, but it takes someone with the initiative and
mm,
the ability to work it out. So it's great that you've found this little niche for yourself, and
mm,
yeah, and that you're willing to do all the work because it is a lot of hard work to make a tour like
mm,
that happen. Well, we're getting very close to the end of our time, and of course, our annual season at the Metropolitan Opera House is just a few weeks away. And we're working on lots of other ballets that we didn't do in Korea. So, just quickly, Tristan, what are you looking forward to this season at the Met?
Everything. Yeah, I love what we're doing this year. We have such great rep this year, and I actually love that we're doing 2 weeks of Swan Lake because it is such a great ballet, and I think ABT's probably got the best Swan Lake in the world. So getting to do that at the Met, getting a double dose is pretty amazing. So I'm really looking forward to that. But Wolfworks is going to be amazing. Sylvia's going to be amazing. And Giselle is my Swan Lake is the best, but Giselle is my favorite. So then we get you get both. Giselle's an amazing ballet. So yeah, I'm looking forward to all of it.
Great. Uni, is there anything in particular you're looking forward to dancing this season?
Yeah, I'm honestly I always feel exciting when I do Met season. Yeah, and start with Swan Lake. It's gonna be very hard, but it's gonna be very great.
Right. I think a lot of people don't realize how difficult Swan Lake is, especially for the female members of the company, because you're literally in every act of the ballets, 4 acts, right? What makes it so hard, do you think?
In Swan Lake,
Yes.
um, from the when I have a act 1, 2, 3, 4 role, each one role, and every time I need to change costume and and to perform. Especially Act 2 is very, very hard for me, like standing, sweating, then sometimes sweating into my eyes, so I couldn't really open my eyes
Mhm.
like
Because
that.
you stand for so long, right, on the side
Yeah.
for a long time, but then you have to dance again, and so it's very difficult, right? And Sungwoo, what are you looking forward to in the season?
I mean, same as Tris, I'm looking for everything because I missed Met season last year because of my lower back injuries. So that time I was like so desperate, I wanna dance. But it's coming Met season, I'll try my best for everything. Yes.
Great. Well, we all look forward to seeing all of you throughout the season and all the different productions. And the season opens in 3 weeks, 3 weeks from tomorrow, and we hope to see everyone there at one point or another. So thank you so much for being with us today. Sungwoo, Yoon, Tristan, thank you for joining us on your day off and sharing your experiences. And we'll see everyone at the Met. Thank you.